Hi friends, I hope you're doing well. I've seen a really fun trend recirculating around YouTube and I wanted to jump on board. So basically the idea is if I lost all my makeup, what would I buy first? This is something that feels very old school YouTube and I feel like I may have filmed this before. I can't remember, and if I did, it was years ago. So I collected all the things that I would run out and buy immediately if I were to lose every single product in my collection, which I don't even want to think about that, you know? That's devastating. But I think it's fun to think through this because it really shows what matters the most to me to get back into my collection first, you know? Obviously, if I were to lose everything, I would probably slowly rebuild past this, but these are the first things that I would pick up. So I've got everything packed in one of my makeup bags. I was able to fit it all in my medium everyday bag. This is the lilac color, if you're wondering. I will have the bag linked down below as well, because I'm assuming if I lost everything, I would also lose my makeup bags. So I would first replace this, and I would also replace my tools. That's what I'm gonna start with. I would 100% repurchase the Morphe and Makeup by Ariel brush set. This is incredible. I would buy this over and over and over again. So I will put this in the links down below. The full set is 100% worth it. It feels like more of an investment, but you're getting literally the best brushes for actually an incredibly affordable price considering how many brushes you get and how amazing they are. This is also my everyday tools bag, so I would definitely replace that to make sure I could store them safely. So that's where we would start. So I'm actually going to use only these brushes. It also comes with a sponge, which I don't know where the exact sponge is that comes in that set, so we're just going to use a different one and pretend that it's the other sponge that I would have got in the set. And we're gonna start with complexion. So for a primer, I actually normally use my skincare as a primer mostly. So when I was thinking of what I would replace, I would definitely have to rebuy a glowy kind of a base product. So I would personally choose the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter in the shade Fair. This is like a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury one. It's much more affordable. So, you know, if I were to have to buy everything, I'm assuming I would have to buy it all at once. And I would want to make sure that some of the things in my choices were more affordable. So I wasn't like, you know, feeling too crazy replacing my whole makeup bag. So I'm going to take that on the Makeup by Ariel A24 brush and just blend that out all over. I actually think it would be interesting to maybe do a skincare version of this. I don't know, let me know in the comments. Even if it ends up being like a YouTube short or something, I could do, like I could make like a short video about what I would replace if I were to lose all my skincare, because wouldn't that be fascinating? I think I would love to like see that from other people, so let me know if you'd like to see that eventually. For foundation, I would splurge a little and rebuy my Nars Light Reflecting Foundation because this is just my favorite of all time and I wouldn't be able to live without it. So even though there's lots of amazing drugstore foundations, I would be nothing without this foundation. That's dramatic, but I really love it so much, you guys know. So I'm gonna take this and just start to apply it all over the skin. This is just my favorite. I feel like I can use it for every day and glam it up if I want to, which I love and which is something that is important to me when choosing a foundation that I would replace first. I would wanna make sure that I can, you know, kind of do a lot with it in the sense of using it for every day, but also if I had an event to go to, you know, say I lost my makeup on a flight or something, I would run to Sephora and pick this one up. I'm gonna take what's left on my sponge and just press this into the skin. For concealer, I love so many concealers. However, I would have to immediately replace my NYX Bear With Me Serum Concealer. Mine is in the shade Light. The Nars Reflecting Foundation with this concealer is like my favorite combo. It's probably my most used foundation and concealer combo of my life, honestly. I used it nonstop last year. It's trickled into this year. I am obsessed. And actually, I even used it the year before that when they first launched. So I'm gonna just press this with my sponge underneath the eyes, and we'll use what's left to go across the eyelid just to cancel out any discoloration there. I'm also gonna take what's left and kind of conceal that blemish. Actually, I might need a little more on that. Kind of a random little blemish right here, but that's all right. All right, next I would set the face with the one and only Huda Beauty powder. I mean, this was a no-brainer for me. This is by far my favorite loose setting powder. I would not be able to go without this. It's something I use on a daily basis. And I would also, if I were at Sephora, I would run and pick up another one of these Beautyblender puffs. I just love how this applies, and I'm assuming, you know, they make puffs that are really nice that you can get on Amazon, but this one is different. Like this one to me is worth the price. It's worth that extra something because the way that it applies powder under the eyes is actually insane. It looks incredible. So I would apply this with my, pretend it's new because I just bought it, you know, with this Beautyblender Puff, which I'm obsessed with. And I like to just apply the powder with this in the T-zone mostly because I'll use a different brush for the outsides of the face. I just like how airbrushed it looks in the center of the face when I used this. Gosh, this combo, the Nars foundation and this powder over top of both the foundation and the concealer is like incredible. So then I would take, I really like this brush from the set, the A3.2 brush, and I would just kind of press the outside of the face with a little bit of that powder. By the way, I would buy the shade Sugar Cookie. I usually have a couple of shades. I also love Cupcake, but I would have to, you know, hold off and invest in that different shade later. So this would be my priority because it's just a great like translucent color. But for fair skin especially, it really brightens the under eye, I feel. So that's what I would choose. For bronzer, I would head on over to Walmart or Ulta and grab just the most foolproof bronzer. This is just something that I know looks good for glam occasions, for everyday looks. I've talked about it a million times on my channel, but whoop, as I drop it, here we are again. The Milani Silky Matte. This is truly one of my favorite powder bronzers, both out of my high-end and drugstore collection. So immediately I'd be like, can't live without that. So I'm going to apply this with my Morphe A21 brush from that same brush set and just apply this all over the face, also down the neck. It's just so good. I love this bronzer so much. Next, we're gonna do brows. I would immediately pick up my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil because I know I would just, you know, need to have this in my collection forever and ever. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill in the brows with this. This is such a fun video to think about because you guys know I love filming my #1 makeup right now videos where I just share with you the products in every category that I'm loving the most and reaching for the most. But I feel like this is different because it's like if I lost everything, you know, what would be the most important to replace versus just, you know, the stuff that I'm enjoying the most or that I think is the best out of my entire existing collection. I don't know, I think it's fun. And I've really enjoyed watching other people's videos of this. Okay, so now that we have the brows on, if it was the situation where I was in a rush and I was not able to, you know, buy an eyeshadow palette, I would just do bronzer and blush on the eyelids like you guys know I do. But if I had to buy an eyeshadow palette to replace first, this was hard because I love so many. But honestly, I would choose this right now, the Side by Side Nude Palette from Nabla, because I feel like I can take this from day to night. It's all the neutrals you need. Plus there's textures. There's really gorgeous metallics and like glitter toppers, which is like essential for me. So in a palette, this is what I would need to do, you know, all the looks that I would want to, at least until I could build up my collection again. So this is what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna start off with the shade Bonjour, which is this one right here. And I'm just gonna use that as my transition shade on the top. And I'm also gonna take that same color and just pinch the brush and go along the lower lash line. By the way, this is the A11 brush. Next, I'm gonna take the A20 brush and dip into Beauty Mark. And I'm gonna use this on the outer edge just to kind of sculpt the eye. And then I'm gonna take that same color on the A18 brush and apply that to the outer third of the lower lash line. Now I'm just gonna take my fingertip with Body and Soul, which is my favorite topper in the palette. And I'm gonna take that and just apply it to the eyelid, focusing on the inner portion and then blending it out across the lid, stopping about halfway. Okay, that's like my favorite look to do with this palette. So we're just gonna stop there. You know, I'm not a huge eyeliner person, so honestly, I don't feel like I would immediately replace that until I felt like I needed to. I would just use an angled brush with some of the deep shades in the eyeshadow palette to make it work until I felt like I wanted an eyeliner, but it's not something that I feel like is immediately a need for me. So for mascara, I have so many favorites, you guys. I have so many favorites, drugstore and high-end, but I was like, okay, if I had to just rebuy one, I would definitely rebuy the Liquid Lash Extensions mascara from Thrive Cosmetics. It's just something that I feel like can't be duped, although, you know, people have tried to dupe this before. I think it's the best tubing mascara and it's able to like build up on my lashes well enough to where I could use it for every day or for really glam smoky eyes, and it's gonna give me that contrast that I want. Right now I have the shade Crystal, which is the black brown, which I'm gonna use for this video, but I would buy the black shade. decide, you know, if I could only pick one color to replace first. So pretend that this is the black color. I'm just trying to go through my mascaras, and actually I really do love the black brown, especially for every day. You still get great dimension and definition, but it's just a little bit softer on the eyes. So I'm just gonna apply this to the top and bottom lashes. I just love this one because it never, ever smudges or flakes on me. So I just know I would be able to really rely on this no matter the situation. Okay, so mascara is on. I just love that mascara so much. So now I always like to apply highlighter before I go in with my blush. So I would definitely rebuy this little highlighter right here, the Essence Pure Nude. It gives me everything that I want in highlight. I'm using a little bit of a bigger brush to apply this. This is the A58, but again, amazing for every day and more glamorous looks if I want to build it up. It just never fails me. I know I would, you know, look really good wearing it, so I would immediately replace this one. Now for blush, this was hard for me because I love blush. And, you know, I would eventually hopefully build up my collection a lot more than just one color. But for this video, I had to pick one color. And I ended up with the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Powder Blush in the shade Mellow Mauve. This is just so good. The color is something that works with every single look. So that's what I was kind of considering as well. You know, if I were to have to rebuy something, I want to make sure that it works with multiple looks every day, but also with glam looks. No matter what lip I was gonna wear, it would work. And that's this color for me. Plus the formula is great. It's more of a matte. There's a little bit of a sheen to it, but it's not crazy. It just looks healthy on the skin. And again, just goes with everything. It's one of my most used blushes. So I'm just gonna pop this on the apples of the cheeks using the A22 brush, which is like one of my favorite blush brushes. It's so good. Now for lips. Now this is something that I bought a few, well, I'm saying I bought, but I would buy a few of the lip category because I just feel like I would need a couple of options with this. So first I would buy 2 lip liner colors. The first one being NYX Nude Beige, which is just my favorite nude lip liner, plus from the drugstore. It's amazing. So I would need that back in my collection ASAP. Then I would want something a little bit more pink because I love a good pink lip for every day. So I would also pick up the shade Peekaboo Neutral, which is this. Those are the 2 that I would need, okay? I need a pink and a nude. So I've got those. Let's see, what do I want to do today? Maybe, should we go more pink? I think so. I'll start with Peekaboo Neutral, and then we'll see where the lip combo takes us. Oh, I realized I forgot to mention, I would also rebuy the Kopari Lip Glossy. I forgot to apply it. This is what I apply usually before I film, so I'm assuming I would still be filming my videos, and I would need this back in my collection because it sits on my desk. I use it every time I film. So I had that in here as well as like a lip balm to prep, and then also you can use it as a clear gloss if you want. So I'm just gonna line and fill in the lips with this. That's a nice thing about lip liners is you can use them as lipsticks too if you want. So there's the shade Peekaboo Neutral. Love it. I would also need 2 lipsticks, so I wanted to choose 2 of my favorites from the drugstore, both from Maybelline. These are just classic lipsticks, and I feel like you can't go wrong with this formula or the shades. So this is the Maybelline lipstick in the shade Truffle Tease. I need a nude one, and I need a rosy one. So here's the nude one, Truffle Tease. I would also pick up Rosy Risk, which is the pink. So this I feel like would match the lip liners that I would buy. So I would be able to kind of mix and match or have something that matches each other almost exactly. I kind of want to do Truffle Tease just in the center of the lips so I can show you how you could potentially mix and match and do like a rosy lip liner and then like a nude lipstick to create something just in between. Gorge, okay, love those. Would not be able to live without that. Okay, now if I had to choose a gloss, I have one that I would pick, honestly, truly, and that's the Essence Clear Lip Gloss. This is the older formula, which means I should probably replace it, but I love this gloss so much, and I would just need a clear gloss, you know, to be able to layer on top of the lip liners and the lipsticks. So there it is, stunning. I'm obsessed. You could also wear it by itself. It's so affordable, you know, so I would need that. And then, first, let's assess the situation really quick. Hang on. Do we want more bronzer? Of course we do. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of bronzer, warm things up a little more. Okay, and then for a setting spray, well, actually before I set the face, I also realized I would be absolutely gutted and devastated if I lost this in my collection because it's something that I'm hoping to collect and keep forever, honestly. I would immediately rebuy a face palette. I figured that I could throw this in here because it's a different category and I would have to like replace this face palette out of all my face palettes. but I didn't want to use this in my look necessarily because I wanted to go through each category, you know, with bronzer, blush, everything that I would buy individually, but I would also have to have this. I would have to have this back. I would be just nothing without this palette. That's also an exaggeration, but I love it so much. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette, the elephant one, okay? I use this like crazy. I can do full face looks with this palette. It's just amazing. Plus, they're usually like limited edition. They sell out. So if I lost my collection today, I would immediately have to repurchase this and add it back to my collection. So that's a little honorable mention, but it was in my bag because I would need it. I would need it back. All right, we're gonna set the face with a setting spray that I just would have to immediately replace. The Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This actually works, you know? It's not a setting spray that just makes you feel nice. It actually makes your makeup last all day. So I'm just gonna spray that all over. Ta-da! Once it's almost dry, I take my sponge and I just press everything down into the skin. I would also immediately replace my Rimmel Stay Matte powder, which is in a Ziploc bag because the lid broke again. I feel like it happens on every single powder that I buy of this. The lid breaks eventually, but here we are. I would take it on my favorite brush out of the entire brush set, the A14 brush. This is incredible for powder, especially if you use a brush under the eyes. This is an amazing brush. And I always just take this and set the T-zone, the smile lines, and through the brows a little as well. Plus this is like $4, so it's a no-brainer for me. Like I would need to rebuy that immediately. And then I can't live without a clear brow gel, my friends, and I would have to rebuy the Benefit 24-hour brow setter. It's my ride or die, my #1 forever and ever. And I'm gonna use this to set my brows. And there you have it. There's my look using everything that I would rebuy immediately if I were to lose everything. And you know, this video gave me hope because if for some reason that happened, I now have the exact things that I would pick up and I would have the reassurance that I would be able to look really, really nice. Honestly, it's been a while since I've used all these products on the face together and these are by far like my favorites. I love how everything looks on the skin. I feel like I look so healthy, but it's also products that wear really well on me. So it's just the reliable stuff, you know? I wouldn't be worried about how my makeup would look with these products. I would know that I would be able to start my makeup journey and my makeup collection headed in the right direction with these products. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a blast thinking through this and picking out all of my products per category. I would love to hear in the comments down below what you guys would buy first. I don't care if your comments are long, okay? I want to hear every single product. Or if you have a channel yourself, remake this video, tag me, I'd love to watch. I think it's such a fun video to see what everybody says and like what everyone cares about the most in their collection. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Everything will be linked down below, including my bags if you're wanting to check those out if you haven't yet. So check the description box. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie. I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, just click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll be notified every single time I upload a video. That's it for me today. I'm obsessed with my makeup right now, which is a good sign. I hope you all have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.